Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to the Conspiracy Cast, the very merry Conspiracy Cast. Right here on Tales of Earth, the show where we openly discuss, like it's secret or something, discuss a conspiracy, mystery, or abnormality of some kind. We do this live on twitch.tv/comicstory every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want, you can support us by subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon so you get notified when we upload a new video. You can also find some Tales of Earth merch through the link below. I don't know why I'm reading it like this.
I don't know either. I've just kind of learned
to patreon.com/comicstory where you can get early access to this show as well as other shows.
You get kind of a Captain Kirk thing going on.
Yeah, I do. A little bit. I'm in a Kirky mood.
Is that what it is?
I'm feeling a little Kirky. Like
they make an ointment for that, though.
Yeah. So, funny story. I asked my daughter to say the word Illuminati. I was holding up my mug and I said, Eleanor, can you say Illuminati? And she goes, Daddy. It's like, Okay, I tried again. Can you say Illuminati? And she goes, Mommy. It's like,
oh, God.
Oh, interesting.
This is just creepy now.
So, anyway.
And then he said it again and he was like, Bill Gates. Wait, what the hell's going on?
She starts listing off like Illuminati members. What's funny is like her English is fine. I don't know why she was doing that, but it was kind of creepy. She just started listing.
All kids are creepy.
She started listing.
Yeah, that's fair.
She started listing people.
Yeah,
which was very odd.
It's very strange because it was from the 15th century.
Yeah. And then she started naming dates and like events
that haven't happened yet.
Okay. Cool. So, for today, my plan originally, as planted by Dan, was to, or suggested by Dan, was to come up with Christmas-related conspiracies.
Yes.
Scouring the internet, turns out there are none. They're all basically, does Santa exist? That kind of stuff.
I guess that is
like that's pretty much it.
A conspiracy.
So I tried to find creepy Christmas stuff, also very rare, as it would turn out. But there are a few things that are interesting about Christmas. So we have several options here.
Okay.
We have 10 of the strangest Christmas traditions around the world, which is quite interesting.
That is fun.
We have 5 true Christmas ghost stories to keep you awake at night until Santa comes.
Sure.
Jesus. Yes. 10 weird conversation starters for holiday parties.
Also, okay, we're definitely doing
facts.
this one.
Basically 10 facts.
I definitely want to do that.
10 shocking Christmas facts. And then a very, very exhaustive list of interesting Christmas facts, history, and stats from last year. That's the most up-to-date I can find. Which one do you want to go with first?
I kind of want to do the weird story starters.
Yeah. The conversation starters?
Yeah.
Okay. The conversation starters.
I don't... Mostly because I don't know how that fits into a lot of these, so I'm very curious how creepy these...
They're not creepy.
Oh, they're not?
They're more like statistics and facts, which are still interesting. Okay. You just want to hear them?
Sure, let's hear it. Let's start off with some facts, and then we can go into more.
I mean...
It's the holidays.
Yeah.
Happy non-denominational holiday.
Yes.
Screw that. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I'm okay. As the host, I'm going to remain neutral.
There you go.
All right. So
he's Switzerland.
Yep. I'm Switzerland now.
Keep going.
Can't I be like a nice country like Canada?
But they're not
neutral. No,
because
they choose a side.
Yeah, but they're
Switzerland's
nice about
neutral.
It. Okay. Fine. Number 1, December 25th was originally a pagan celebration.
Yep.
Everybody knew that.
True.
Nobody knows when Jesus of Nazareth was born.
I do.
Of course. Well, yeah, you know everything. And nobody celebrated his birthday for hundreds of years. December 25th was co-opted from pagan rites connected with the winter solstice. So basically, the Catholic Church would, in order to get converts, would adopt like pagan deities and holidays and traditions just so they could say, you can believe in Jesus and still celebrate all of your pagan holidays.
It was really big with the Romans when they had
Mm-hmm.
converted to Catholicism, and then they would take over an area.
Yes.
So to help kind of like ease everybody into the religion that we now
It's like,
rule
hey,
you with.
you're a part of this.
Yeah,
We're going to make
yeah.
it easy, but we'll also kill you if you go the other
Yeah,
direction.
kind of. And then it's like, well, we'll just incorporate some of your paganisms into our holidays.
Except it's no longer yours.
Actually.
It's mine.
Right, exactly.
It's them going, oh, that's nice.
Well, a lot of the
It's mine now.
Yeah, ours now.
not all, but a lot of the like patron saints are just gods who have been renamed.
Yep.
And still associated with their whatever they were in charge of.
Right.
Number 2, the nativity story resulted in several wars. In the first few centuries of the Christian era, controversy over whether or not Jesus was divine at birth created political and social unrest that frequently burst out into full-scale warfare.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm curious, what wars now?
Probably more like skirmishes between groups.
Yeah, like
I'm
like a
curious
full-blown
what
right.
what area though, like
Oh, I
what
see, yeah.
geographical. Thank you.
Geographical.
Geological.
Mostly,
Jesus was
yeah.
a rock. No, he
Mostly,
was not.
yeah. Mostly it was the Middle East, what we consider the Middle East.
Yeah.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of Dead Sea Scrolls that are not necessarily biblical, but they're records of these wars and skirmishes between Jews and Christians and
Interesting.
things like that. All right, number 3, mistletoe kissing originated with fertility rites. The hanging sprig is that's
actually
what they call
my
it now.
nickname in
That's what they call
college.
it now. Yeah, the hanging sprig.
You know, sprig is like a very small.
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make
Yes,
sure.
that's kind of the joke, Dan. Thank you.
Is a
Just wanted
very
to clarify. Make sure.
is a very ancient symbol of virility, and therefore anybody standing beneath it is signaling that he or she is sexually available. Not just for a kiss, but make babies.
That's why I keep one at the entrance to my house to let everybody know.
I'm sexually available. And you greet them with a long handshake at the door. Yeah.
And eye contact.
They're like, hey, man, what's that above us?
Won't you come in?
Like,
Let me tell you a fun
I'm
fact
just
about
the-
mistletoe
I'm
sprigs.
just a FedEx person. Just take your video game. I'm going to leave.
He's delivering that package.
Oh, man. Number 4, Santa
Sorry.
Claus originated in a newspaper ad. Kind of mostly true. What we consider today as Santa Claus,
Yes.
like the commercialized red suit, all that. Far from being a quaint medieval legend, Santa Claus first appeared as a recognizable entity, was in a newspaper ad for toys and gift books in the mid-19th century. Yeah. Before that,
Interesting.
he was just St. Nicholas. Number 5, Christmas is only recently a family holiday. Christmas was originally celebrated as an adult form of trick-or-treat, but with the treat consisting of booze and the threatened trick consisting of bodily harm or destruction of property.
Yeah, it sounds
also,
about right, actually.
like, half true.
I mean,
Because people celebrate Christmas.
right.
Yeah.
Plus, it's,
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, even with your family, you do tend to drink booze and break
booze.
stuff.
Well, it's not a Christmas concoction if there's not booze
Oh,
in
yeah.
it.
That is true.
Yeah.
Nobody just drinks straight eggnog.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Which is why I think Santa Claus would really appreciate it if you put a little something, something
Yeah.
in the
I leave him
milk.
out
Yeah.
a shot of whiskey
There you go.
and some beef jerky.
There you go. He's like, man, I'm
It's
man's
protein.
treat.
He
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
the protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a sugar crash.
It's like more cookies. Great.
Yeah.
Beef jerky. This is amazing.
Fantastic.
Like doubting it. On Dawn or on whatever. Just you know where to go. We've been doing this for 100 years.
That way is. You know where we're going.
Yeah.
Put the reindeer on autopilot.
It's like.
Oh,
That's the Tim Allen version.
Yeah, I would
of
assume.
Santa
I could
Claus.
see
Yeah.
him. I could see him doing that.
We Wish You a Merry Christmas was originally a threat. This one, very true. The ever-popular song was originally sung loudly and repeatedly by crowds of rowdy, lower-class servants demanding booze from their masters, or else. We won't go until we get some, is one of the lines. Which is very
That
true. Yeah.
is awesome.
Basically, we'll
We
go
wish
away.
you a Merry Christmas.
Give us booze.
Which is, I think, the
Wish you
origin
a
of
Merry Christmas.
yeah, which I think is like the origin of carolers.
Yeah.
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, like you show up and you sing to annoy someone until they give you stuff to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Which is what I do every Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think I get my booze?
So people don't like it. Turns out. Number 7, the Christmas tree is a manufactured tradition. Like
Yeah.
any tradition,
Generally speaking,
everything
yes.
has an origin. Victorian intellectuals like Clement Moore, because everybody knows who Clement Moore is, invented the tradition as a part of a social movement to consciously reform Christmas away from its tradition of raucous drinking. Okay.
I just
So
drink
more
around the
drinking.
Christmas
I believe
tree.
the idea of actually
Yeah.
decorating a tree was another pagan
It
thing,
was,
though.
yes.
That I want to say originated maybe with the Norse, but I could be wrong.
I know it was
then they
Western
ca-
European.
yeah.
Western, Northern.
Yeah, something around
European,
there.
yeah.
But
But
it wasn't like
it was
a
very,
Christmas tree.
Right.
No.
It was part of like the
Wasn't
winter
it
solstice
Yuletide?
thing. Yeah, because
Or
that's
something?
something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
And I think actually the first person ever to put lights on a tree was
Drunk.
at least what we have on. Yeah, there's candles in the tree because that won't go poorly.
It was actually
Yeah.
someone that was watching their neighbor. They accidentally
Yeah.
lit their tree on fire, and they were like, "There's a super lit up and sparkly. How'd they do that? They must
Right.
put some sort of lights on it."
Let's light ours. Oh no. So traditionally, Martin Luther is actually accredited as being the first person to put lights on a tree.
Really?
Back
Really?
in the early 1500s. Yeah. So yeah,
I didn't know that.
but they would literally like put candles, which
Yeah.
I don't
Not a
understand
great
how
plan.
that never went
Yeah,
poorly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably did.
Well, it did. You
Yeah.
just didn't hear about
Yeah.
those ones
'Cause
because
they were
back then
dead.
there was no way
Yeah,
to.
the Great
recover.
Fire of Germany
Yeah.
also happened the same year.
It's really weird.
I don't know if that's a thing. It's probably not a thing. Number 8, Scrooge does not celebrate with the Cratchits. While most
You're
cinema
trying
versions,
to tell me that Muppet Christmas Carol has lied to me?
every movie version of the Christmas Carol, yes.
Interesting. I'm gonna go home and watch them all tonight.
While most cinema versions of
write
A
them a
Christmas
letter, you
Carol show the reformed miser celebrating with his lower class employee, in the book, Scrooge celebrates instead with his middle class nephew.
He does do that in some of them.
I think they did that in the Jim Carrey
he
animated
like
version.
he like drops off the stuff for Cratchit, gives him
Yes.
the raise,
Yeah,
tells
yeah.
him not to come in until the day
Right.
after Christmas,
Yep.
and then goes and visits his nephew. I think.
Yes. Played by Colin Firth in the animated movie. All right, number 9, Christmas as a day off is a recent innovation. As late as 1850, December 25th was not a legal holiday in New England. Okay, so stores were open, businesses were open, and children were expected to attend school.
Wow, that's shitty.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so glad we're further down the line of these traditions.
Yeah.
and
I always feel bad for the
170
people who have to work
years
at like
ago.
Walmart that day because it's
Yes.
open, and,
Right.
like, and certain like fast food places are always
Well,
open.
yeah. But you also think like first responders. Like,
Yeah.
Not everybody
But not
gets
even,
the holidays off.
but not even
Yeah.
like those, because those first responders I get that, like
understand,
hospital,
yeah.
sure, but like
But Walmart doesn't need to be
Walmart, movie theaters are always open.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I always feel bad for those people. But
Number 10, the 12 Days of Christmas costs about $1.3 million.
I have heard this one.
Yes,
yeah.
the big challenge is getting the lords to leap in unison, a figure about 100 per K per lord, with an extra 100K to cover the birds, rings, milkmaids, and so forth.
Interesting.
Yes, I think another
I like how
figure has
someone
it much
actually-
higher. It's like
Yeah.
30 million or something.
All of theirs is golden crusted.
a lot of birds in that as gifts. Apparently,
Yeah.
birds
Yeah.
were real big at that point for gifts.
Not with my family. If I gave any of my like in-law family
Yeah.
members a bird, I would be ostracized.
Also,
You know-
what's the
Yeah.
point of a partridge in a pear tree?
To guard the tree.
Maybe.
To have a bird alliterate with a tree type.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean, that's probably
It's
what
probably
it
what it
was.
is, yeah. So I'm going to pick the next one. 10 of the
Okay.
strangest Christmas traditions around the world.
Okay.
Number 10, Ukraine, spooky seasonal decor. In the U.S., we decorate our trees with lights and brightly colored ornaments. Some people pick a color theme and make sure all of their ornaments match the theme, while other people collect ornaments that have some kind of sentimental value to them.
Yep.
We do a mixture of both.
Yeah. But my actual in-laws, they have two separate trees. So one is for like the nice tree, and then the other is the sentimental tree.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Ours is mostly sentimental.
yeah. So like, here's the ornament you made in first grade, second grade, third
Exactly.
grade, fourth grade, fifth grade.
See,
Here's the one of
Yeah.
the dog. Here's the one of the older dog.
I was like, we
Here's
we
the-
generally do like all of the like bulbs and things like that are matching,
Right.
and then we'll do a new ornament
Interspersed.
each year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
In Ukraine, there's a piece of folklore referred to as the legend of the Christmas spider. In this story, a woman and her children were living in poverty in their home when a tree started to grow in their house. On Christmas Eve, the tree became covered in spider webs. And when they woke up the next morning, the spider webs had turned to silver and gold. Now, people in the Ukraine decorate their trees with spider web ornaments as a reference to the tale and the family's good luck.
I would watch a movie
That would be
named
awesome.
The Legend of the Spider Tree or whatever. What was that? Legend of the
it's like Charlotte's
Legend of the Christmas Spider.
Yeah.
Would you not go to
Watch
a movie?
that.
Hey, let's go see Legend of the Christmas Spider.
I
But
like that.
the moral of the story is like the Christmas spider goes around all these different houses and says, "Can I live here? Can I camp
yeah,
here?"
yeah.
Everyone's like, "No, no,
You're
no."
a spider, you're
Moral of
disgusting.
the
Yeah.
story is Spider Bro is your bro.
Yeah. Number 9, Iceland, the Yule cat. This one is actually really creepy. Animals are a big part of a lot of the mythology and traditions of many countries. In Iceland, there's a special Christmas tradition that involves a very special cat that roams the streets one time per year. But this cat isn't the cute, friendly, four-legged friend that we might imagine roaming the streets of Iceland.
Oh, God.
According to myths and legends, the Yule cat is a ferocious creature that wanders around during the wintertime and eats anyone who hasn't gotten new clothes to wear on Christmas Eve.
So it's a very violent cat version of Krampus, kind of in a way.
Kinda, yeah.
With
I kinda like it.
high-style standards, apparently.
The jacket is so last
You
year.
wore that. Yeah, exactly. You wore that last
It's
year.
like, wait a second.
Yeah. Austria, speaking of,
Scary Santa.
many countries we have Santa Claus. He takes gifts to kids all over the world on Christmas Eve and loves to eat milk. Gross. And cookies along the way. But in Austria, there's much...
You leave it out, and he waits for the next year to eat that milk you left out
He
last
leaves it
year.
out. He's like, we'll be back for this.
Do not put away.
Do not put away. There's a much more unusual figure. Santa, our milk is starting to really stink.
I will be there
I'll
on
be there
Christmas.
On Christmas. There's a much more unusual...
You want me to set the cat on you?
I'll do it.
the Yule cat.
The Yule
Oh,
cat.
yeah. Krampus and the Yule cat team up to... That's,
Oh, my God.
Krampus rides the Yule
Yes.
cat.
Oh, man.
I
Okay.
would also watch that movie. And, oh my gosh, that is the villain in the legend of the Christmas spider.
Yes.
It's the Christmas spider bro versus Krampus
But
and the Yule cat.
The
watched
real
that movie.
Santa Claus, Saint Nick, has gone missing.
Right.
And he's the only one who can stop Krampus.
Sure. With the power of the Yule Force.
Yes. Yes, I like it. And he rides a polar bear.
Well, sure.
Yes.
Well,
or an
and
armored
infuse it
reindeer.
with
that's
Coke.
I don't
what
like
it is, an
armored
armored
reindeer.
reindeer.
Oh, I was
What?
picturing him having a polar bear and having to feed it Coca-Cola.
He's like...
Yeah.
He's like, oh crap, the bear's out of juice. It's
No.
The
What
tagline for the
happens is-
poster is going
yeah.
to be "Ride a one-horse open sleigh straight to hell."
I love it. With Carl Urban playing Santa Claus.
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
But he's just Carl Urban.
There's
No
just
beard.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
And Krampus is Michael
with his,
Cera.
with
And
his
he
little.
yes, Michael Cera.
Oh, I
He
was going
would
to
be
picture
Krampus.
Michael Cera to be
Yeah.
the spider.
Oh, that would work too.
The Christmas spider.
One of the lines in the movie
it's
would
just
have to be
his
like
head.
Santa Claus, like with a question mark.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, "What'd you expect? Big beard." Oh man, that movie needs to be made.
I would love that.
We need to make that movie.
I'll get Carl Urban on the phone. I don't think he's doing anything right now.
But in Austria, there's a much more unusual figure associated with Christmas. While Santa rewards children that have been good all year and deserve treats and gifts, Krampus is the exact opposite. He's a figure in the mythology of many Eastern European countries, including Austria, and he comes during Christmas to punish children that have been bad.
I actually like that one. Personally, I have always liked the Krampus because it's the classic, the Santa knows if you've been good or bad, and it's like, well, you'll
Like,
get
well, I can
coal.
deal with a lump of coal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Can you deal with a goat demon taking you?
exactly. Like, that's how you scare kids straight right there.
So in your house, someone will ask you, like, so you and your kids, do you do Santa Claus? You're like, no, we don't do Santa Claus. We do Krampus.
We do
It's
the
actually,
Christmas spider, Krampus, and the Yule cat.
I actually have this little like seesaw, and like every time they do something
man.
good, I put it on the Santa side.
Sure.
If they do something bad, I put it on the Krampus side, and whichever one's heavier.
This would be awesome
decides
for the
their
start
fate.
of a holiday horror movie.
Oh, yes.
Just so we're
Yeah,
clear
yeah.
on that.
Like, all right, Susie, put yours on the Krampus side.
but Daddy, well, what did I tell you?
I'm sorry,
Someone
you
walks-
kicked your brother.
Someone walks into your house like, what lovely decorations. Oh, my.
But it's like
What is that?
It's like the classic Coca-Cola Happy Santa, and then the
Yeah.
other side is like this twisted demon Krampus.
The bout of whiskey.
The bottle of whiskey. It's like, you think that's creepy. Look at the cat.
Which is in the corner.
Oh, Christmas in the Rumbles household.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, number 7, Catalonia, Spain. I'm going to ruin this. Tio de Nadal.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Sounds about right. This Christmas tradition is one that is specific to the people of Catalonia, Spain. Tio de Nadal is a hollow log that is found in the homes of many people in this area during the Christmas season. Some families choose to purchase a log that sits up on 4 legs with a face painted on it, but some families leave their log plain. On either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, families then use a stick to hit Tio de Nadal while they sing songs that refer to this as a poop log. Why not?
Mr.
Until
Hanky.
presents. Yeah, maybe that was the,
Yeah, that's
that was the
probably what it
origin
was.
of Mr. Hanky. Until presents and candy fall out of the hollow center of the log. That's
So it's a Christmas pinata?
I guess
about poop?
About poop.
Essentially, yeah.
Some families have the children
Christmas
leave the room.
poop-yada?
That works.
All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
In my household, we're going to adopt most of these traditions. Here's our
People
poop
are going to
log.
start coming over.
Yeah.
And if you look over here, we got our poop log.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Yuletide cat. Stay away from him. He'll eat your face off if
Yeah,
you're not wearing
yeah.
new clothes.
Go with the poop-
Krampus over here.
Here's your steak.
Little-
Go hit the poop log. Just wait. It's
Yeah,
great.
It's great.
a lot
Don't
of
worry.
fun.
It'll be fantastic.
Some families have the children leave the room and pull out the gifts to set near the log to keep up the illusion that they came from inside. Tio de Nadal. Okay.
It's an odd one.
See, I was kind of
I
hoping
have
that the
heard this
poop
one.
log was going to,
Yes.
like, if you were able to break it in a certain amount of time, it meant you were going to have good bowel movements for the rest of the year.
I better break that thing.
And what better present is there?
Yeah. Actually, it's a pretty good present.
Yeah.
All right, number 6. Because meanwhile in Japan, Kentucky Fried Christmas. Many families have a tradition of getting together on holidays like Christmas to enjoy a meal together. Whether it's turkey, ham, or a secret family recipe, enjoying dinner together is a huge part of the holidays for many families. This is also true in Japan. Even though Christmas is celebrated a lot differently and has only started to be celebrated in the past few decades, it's still popular for a lot of people. So what's the special meal that people eat during Christmas in Japan? KFC. In the 1970s, KFC in Japan started advertising a special campaign during the winter called Kentucky for Christmas. During Christmas, KFC sells a special range of family dinners meant to help people celebrate the holiday together.
Japan really likes a lot of things that we don't consider that great. Because they love KFC.
A lot of Asia, yeah.
PBR.
And China's huge
Like,
as well,
like
yeah.
that's like a
It's a luxury item.
luxury
Yeah,
item,
yeah.
whereas here it's like, oh, someone
Why
brought
would you-
PBR.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the
Like,
Bud Light.
crap, here, fine, I'll give you $1. Give me a full, like, 32 pack.
Yeah. It's like
About
when somebody
50,
told me
650
Budweiser's gluten-free. I was like, that's not good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because
Like-
it's water.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, that's
you just
right.
tell me water's gluten-free. Awesome. Like,
Water's
thanks.
gluten-free, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Just in
Not,
case you
not the
were
waters
just-
you've been drinking. I've been adding the gluten in there.
Oh, okay.
We've been lacing it.
That's why I feel funny all the time. Number 5, Germany, the Christmas pickle.
Also, my
Sorry.
nickname in college.
Actually, I want to hear what this one is because I think my family does this one.
Okay.
Really?
Everyone has different ways of decorating their Christmas tree.
Yeah,
For
we
some
did
people,
this one.
it's a certain color scheme. For other people, it's a whole collection of sentimental ornaments. And for people in Germany, there's one special ornament that always goes on the Christmas tree. What is it? A pickle. It's tradition in Germany to hide a pickle ornament somewhere in the Christmas tree, deep within the branches of the tree.
Really?
On Christmas Eve, the children all search the tree for the pickle. Whoever spots it first is said to get a special reward from St. Nicholas himself.
Yep.
Today, people keep with this tradition and adorn their tree with a pickle.
Yeah, we would. So my grandparents always did this, and I know because I got disqualified because I was always the one to find the pickle. And it wasn't like you could cheat, like find it earlier. It was
Yeah.
always like a tradition of everyone's
Well, it's
like
tough. It's the
everyone's
same
opened their
color as
gifts.
the
We've
tree,
done
yeah.
with all of this. They'll do that, and then they'll be like, "All right, we're gonna go hide the pickle," and then we would all be like,
say
"Who
that
gets
usually
it?" To
it's a
get
different thing.
and like it would always just be like a little do nothing gift, but it was
Sure,
always just
yeah,
a
yeah.
fun
Sure, yeah,
tradition
yeah.
of just like, ooh,
Yeah.
like who's gonna find it this year? It was always me, and then I got disqualified, and then I got recruited to help someone else,
'Cause you're
and then
too
I would
good?
always help them find
Interesting.
it. Yeah.
Do you have like German descent? Is that where it's from? Or?
I don't actually know if it is something like that or
Like
maybe
further
like
down
farther
the line,
up.
maybe you guys
My
were-
guess is it's somewhere in like my grandparents' tradition
Yeah,
because only they do it.
Okay, so
And
yeah, so
my
it's,
American
yeah.
grandparents, not my English.
okay, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it's possible
Okay.
somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
you
They're
know,
American
they-
German.
Yeah, they
like,
had some German.
second,
Probably
third
something
generation,
like
yeah.
that, yeah. But
Interesting.
it's actually funny that that's actually a tradition because I always thought
You
that
just
was
thought it was like your family kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, maybe somebody started it along, which is possible.
So we
Yeah.
got the
Maybe they had a German friend
yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, it's the height of the pickle."
Okay.
right.
So we've got the year-old glass of milk. We got the pickle on the tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what better, what goes with pickles and old milk better than fried caterpillars?
Ugh.
Number 4.
That's not pasta?
South Africa. That's not pasta. Fried caterpillars.
It looks like pasta that someone like poked into a black olive.
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit.
Funny side note: I've never had fried caterpillars. I
Yes.
have had boiled caterpillars.
Oh.
They
How
don't-
was it?
they
Was
don't
it at Christmas
taste-
time?
They don't taste good.
No, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Were
It's
they
generally,
doable enough that like if you had nothing else to
It-
eat, you
well,
would
that's-
probably be
that's
like,
when-
oh,
that's
kind of the point,
is when I
yeah.
had them. Yes.
Yeah.
well, I'm asking like if you had
Protein.
option
Yes. If I had options, no, I would not go for the boiled caterpillars.
of the bad options. Where
Yep.
on a scale of
Better than worms.
good to know. There you go.
Also,
Maybe the type of cooking method.
That's
is-
possible. You never know. Fry them, cover them with cheese. Go, keep going,
Yeah,
guys.
sorry.
I mean, if you put enough garbage on it, yeah, you're not going to taste the caterpillar
Exactly.
anymore. Blend it up.
Yeah.
There are some foods around the world that are slightly strange to people that
Creole
don't
seasoning.
live there. Some of them are surprisingly delicious once you give them a chance, but there are others that we could never imagine trying. In South Africa, there's one really unusual food that tends to be eaten during the Christmas season. It's fried crispy, and they say it's delicious. What is it? Fried caterpillars. On Christmas Day, people in South Africa snack on deep fried caterpillars. I wonder how many people in South Africa would watch this video and say,
No,
that's
we
not
don't.
true.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Don't do that.
Actually,
Like-
they're actually watching, going, "The hell is this guy going on about? You don't boil them."
yeah.
What an idiot!
Where was he? Number 3, United States. A cozy fire on the TV.
I don't get this one, honestly. My mom started doing this.
Really?
Probably 10, 12 years back, something like that, because we
Yeah.
never had like a fireplace or anything like that. So
Yeah.
she would do the TV thing. But even now, when they have a fireplace,
That's silly.
they put it on the TV.
Actually,
it doesn't make any sense.
My family does it because my dad would always do the fireplace, and no one else would ever do it. And
Yeah,
then one
yeah.
year, he's just like, "Screw it, we're putting on the TV.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't feel like dealing with this."
I mean, maybe
No,
that's
why
what it
not?
is. It's possible.
Yeah. The Yule log is a TV tradition in the U.S. started back in the 1960s. It originally aired on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day on New York City's WPIX, but has since expanded. Excuse me. And there's even now a version of it on Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah, I
The
have seen that,
show is simply a stream of a fireplace burning with Christmas music playing in the background. All right, number 2, New Zealand, a different Christmas tree, which would make sense. For many countries, the pine tree is the traditional Christmas tree. Whether you have a real or fake one, they sit in our living rooms, get decorated, and have gifts placed under them. But in New Zealand, they have a completely different type of Christmas tree. In New Zealand, the Pohutukawa tree blooms with bright red flowers during December and January. This is actually summer in that part of the world, but Christmas is celebrated during the same time. This tree has important roots in Maori mythology, and its bright red blooms and green leaves are a symbol of Christmas across New Zealand. Well, that makes sense, right?
I like
Green.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's summer. Like, what else are you
That's
gonna...
just adjusting a holiday to your climate.
Yeah, I mean,
Which I like it.
realistically, yeah.
Right, yeah.
This one sounds cool.
Yeah, so, Dan, we have another tradition to add to your family.
All right, let's hear it.
Number 1, Italy, the Christmas witch. In many cultures, Santa Claus, you're going to have people come over to your house and never come back for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Just the Yule Cat, Krampus, the witch,
Don't forget the
Spiders.
legend Spider Bro.
the Spider Bro,
Old
the
glass of
boot
milk.
I already have a Spider Bro.
the solid glass of milk.
Is this like a prop milk? Oh, that's not a prop.
Nope. Don't go in that corner.
Don't go that corner. In many cultures, Santa Claus is the person that travels around the world and delivers gifts to deserving young boys and girls on Christmas Eve. Kids are told to be good because Santa is watching them and will know if they behave. On Christmas morning, good kids are rewarded with gifts from this iconic figure. But in Italy, there's someone else delivering gifts. Befana is the name of a witch in Italy who is said to travel around Italy on Epiphany Eve, January 5th, to deliver gifts to children all over the country. If the children were good all year, their socks are filled with candy and gifts. But if they were bad, they get nothing but coal.
I won't lie.
Okay.
That just makes me
All right.
think of like an Italian grandmother who was just like, "Oh, you didn't get a gift? Oh,
Yeah.
well, clearly it's this Eve, so here.
Yeah, it's January
Also have some
5th.
pasta."
See, I would
some
take this. Have some pasta. That's what's in the socks. But while the people are wearing them,
Oh, it's tradition. Put it on.
put on the pasta socks.
It's actually someone that's wearing it, and they're just walking, and all of a sudden it appears in that Christmas witch.
It's Christmas magic. See, to me, this just sounds like the whole how can Santa get to every country
Yeah.
in one night, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He has side workers such
Yeah.
as the
Witches.
Christmas witch,
Spider.
or the
Krampus,
spider.
Krampus did work for him and got fired.
Yeah, because he was not good at it.
He was not good at it.
Actually, he was just like the substitute that was just always drunk on the job.
That's what
and
it
had the
was.
list strong. He's like, So I beat
He was
these
like-
kids
so
up,
he-
right?
He was the first and last time Santa Claus let somebody step in
Yes,
to
Santa's
take
like,
over
all right, so
for
you
him.
gave the presents to the good kids, and he's like, right. He's like, you gave, and he's like, and I beat the bad kids. He's like, wait, whoa, you did what?
It's like,
I
wait,
beat him and I put him in the sack.
Yeah.
No,
No.
you're supposed to give him coal.
Yeah.
well, that's this is coal,
that's
and this is cinder block. I thought that's why you said coal, right?
It's like, that's a stupid punishment, Santa.
They're never gonna learn. Now they can just have their own grill.
I was like, I'm going to start my own Christmas.
Hookers and blackjack.
You know what?
Screw the Christmas. What's the next one?
Oh, man.
Okay,
Well, that was that list. Do we want 5 true Christmas ghost stories?
this was Andy's
Yes.
call for the last.
Let's
for
do,
the other list.
let's hear. 10 shocking Christmas facts.
For the record, I am totally telling people
Or-
about the Legend of Spider Bro now.
I would go.
I'm
ghost
adapting.
stories.
Ghost stories? Okay.
Here's my question: Was Christmas ghost stories always a thing? Because I forget which Christmas Carol it is, but the line is like, we sit around telling scary ghost stories from Christmases long, long ago.
right.
And I always hear that line, and I'm always like,
and you wonder
was
why
telling
Dickens
ghosts-
went with
yeah,
ghosts.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is ghost stories
Right.
like an old Christmas tradition?
I don't know.
It's like tomorrow
Well,
Santa
we're-
will be here, but tonight
okay,
I'm going to scare
so
the crap out
I
of you.
think it was
Yeah.
that one was actually something related to the fact that it was an old pagan holiday around the winter
Maybe, yeah,
solstice,
yeah.
Right.
That's
and it
possible,
was
yeah.
something to either commemorate or like it's like the classic at certain times of the year the veil between worlds
Yeah, the
is thinnest
spirits,
at the
which I
most.
believe is
Yeah.
what
And
Christmas
I believe
was at
winter
one-
solstice
Yeah.
and like the general very dark nature of that time of the year relates to the
I could see that. Yeah.
It's a good reason.
horror.
I think based on this entire, like everything we've read so far, Christmas is turning out to be traditionally a very frightening time of year.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's why
Christmas,
I want to see. That's why I
honestly,
want
is-
Carl Urban Santa Claus.
I do want
with
Carl
like a
Urban
broadsword
Santa
and a
Claus,
battle
yes.
axe, and he's just like, "Let's do this."
He like loses them. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what are you gonna do without your swords? I got more.
Candy canes, bitches.
Candy.
Like candy cane daggers.
Oh, the peppermint stings.
Oh man,
gonna write my own
We're gonna
movie,
crowd
honestly.
fund.
We could.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
gosh.
badass Santa Claus
Oh
movie.
yeah. We need to crowdfund this movie.
Yeah.
With Carl
Most,
Urban.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Carl
most of the
Urban
budget's going
and
to
Michael
Carl.
Cera as
Yes.
Krampus.
Spider Bro.
No, I think it was Krampus.
I think it would be
He's
hilarious.
both.
Actually,
he's
no.
pulling an Eddie
You know
Murphy.
what? Yeah, I
We're
was
gonna
gonna
pull an Eddie
say.
Murphy. Yeah.
It's gonna be.
hit myself in my head with my poof ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. Ghost stories.
Okay,
All right, let's
5
hear
true
'em.
Christmas ghost stories to keep you awake at night until Santa comes, because that is creepy as well.
Sit up with a gun.
This one's a little
Busted
long,
in my house.
but we're only halfway through the show, so we can read these.
We got time.
Yeah. All right, the bright light and the calm watchdog. I had an unusual visitor on Christmas Day, 2008, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't Santa Claus passing by my house in Bloomington, Indiana. The day started in typical fashion with the opening of gifts around the Christmas tree. I served an early Christmas dinner for family and friends, and everybody departed by 5
It's
p.m.
a lame party.
I mean, it's your
Yeah.
family and friends.
That's true.
That's fair. Yeah.
They may have other Christmases to go to and things like that.
And they're all
Except my
irritating.
sister. What?
I'm saying they're all irritating.
Yeah. Well, as per Christmas tradition, whatever you're drinking, you add booze.
Yeah,
And you send them off.
that's true.
All right, except my sister and brother-in-law who lived with me. They were sleeping in a bedroom at the end of the hall with the door open. I went into my bedroom with my dog, Toby, and shut the door securely.
Well, I'm glad that you
Like-
said that it was Toby.
So he,
Otherwise,
like-
I thought it was Frank, and that's a
like-
different story.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
a different story, a different dog. So when he shuts his door securely, does he like deadbolt it? I was just dozing off when I heard the latch on my bedroom door open. I waited several seconds for my sister or brother-in-law to ask me whatever they came in to say, but there was no other sound. It was almost 7 p.m., so my bedroom was pitch black. I had left lights on in the kitchen and the bathroom, and there were lots of Christmas lights in the living room. So the hallway would have been well lit. I would be able to see whoever was at the door just by lifting my head. I pushed the blankets down and lifted my head from the pillow, but just as I would have been able to see who was in the doorway, an extremely bright light hit me right in the eyes. I shielded my eyes and yelled, "Turn out that expletive light. You're blinding me." That's actually what it says. The light immediately disappeared, and I heard the bedroom door latch closed. My bedside light is a touch lamp, so I tapped on it because we needed that detail, and looked around the bedroom. There was no one in the bedroom except me and Toby. Toby jumped off the bed and went to the door without showing any signs of alarm. At first, I wasn't frightened because Toby is a Dutch Shepherd, well trained to be an excellent watchdog and proven personal protection dog. Since Toby was already up, I decided to go let him outside and see what sis or brother-in-law needed. When I went into the hallway, I could see both of them still in bed. I took Toby to the living room and let him outside, and there was nobody there either. So who opened my bedroom door and turned a spotlight on my face? Like most people, the thoughts of loved ones are always close at hand during the holiday season. When I first went to lie down, I was thinking how happy I was that my small family had enjoyed a pleasant Christmas. Where are we going with this? But it all would have been so much better if my mother and brother had still been alive to share it with us. I see where he's going. I would like to think it was my brother's spirit stopping to say, Merry Christmas! I still think of you too. I haven't been able to debunk this strange event or find any kind of rational explanation. I'm half afraid that my heart stopped during my sleep and the light I saw was bright lights. The bright light people report after near-death experiences. Leave it to me to see the stairway to heaven and ruin my chance of eternal paradise by saying, turn out that...
They're like, all right,
Expletive
you
light.
come. Yeah.
That's actually
Fine.
that's actually a pretty good attitude about this.
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we were going to give you, eternal happiness, but whatever.
I've made a mental note that if I ever see another bright light to clean up my language, just in case.
I feel like we should do the other
man.
ones because I thought these were going to be like traditional Christmas ghost
I wasn't
they're
expecting
not.
one
Yeah.
that recent, and I also find it funny that he's like, I'd like to think it was my brother saying I'm still with you. And in my head, I'm like, if it was my brother, I would have gotten shoved out of that bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Ah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Or happy Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say let's go to the other ones. Like, I thought these were going to be like traditional ghost
Yeah,
stories.
I wasn't expecting
They're
like,
not very
yeah.
scary.
Yeah, still, it's like, get a light shining.
because that could have gone so much creepier.
Yeah.
Like if maybe he had gone into the living room and there was like a very, very cold, very cold air despite the fire being on.
I did see one.
When the Nutcracker starts singing to him.
Then all of a sudden a giant cat jumps out. You're not wearing
wore
new clothes. Those are old socks.
Those are old socks. Everything else is new. That's why I'm only attacking your feet. There was one story
no,
that
I got
read.
this. That's from thrift store. That doesn't count. It's new. Doesn't count as new.
Oh man. Oh, so I do remember reading one story where this kid got up, he heard something in the living room, and he went into the living room and saw
Turns out he'd been dead for 10 years.
he saw Santa Claus filling the stockings, but he could see through Santa Claus. Which is kind of a creepy idea. Like
Santa
maybe
Claus is actually a ghost.
Yeah. What if Santa Claus is like an omnipresent ghost
He's a cosmic being.
who just covers the earth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
So, like, it's
he
Dr.
could see
Manhattan.
through him.
Kinda, yeah.
Little
Needs to
did
be
you
a
know,
story.
Santa Claus is the Legend of Spider Bro, but it's a camouflage system. So there's only one spot you can't see through because that's where the base spider is. But everything else is like a hologram, so you can see through it.
Okay. Almost like a Men in Black robot suit.
Yeah.
Like a little spider.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go. I want to see Dr. Manhattan Save Christmas now.
I'd watch that special.
Yeah. It's like, Dr. Manhattan, only you can deliver all these presents to all these children all at once. He's like, done.
I did it last week.
I did it last week. Yeah, it's like I did it last week. Right now, last week. Exactly. It's like I don't understand.
Exactly.
Exactly. So do we want 10 shocking Christmas facts?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure.
Number 1, most expensive Christmas tree. Think you've overstretched your budget this year? Well, hopefully hearing
No.
this shocking Christmas fact will help you feel a little better
in years.
about your Christmas spending splurge. One man, Yves Piaget, spent over 10 million pounds, that's over 13 million US dollars, on decorating his Christmas tree. The tree was lavishly decorated with 83 pieces of jewelry in Tokyo, which would, of course, Japan, which would have amounted to a significant amount of yen. Yes, I'm sure it would.
Damn.
Wow.
I mean, hey, if you enjoy the
83
holiday and you've
pieces
got
of
the money.
jewelry.
Yeah.
Honey, have you seen my jewelry? What are you doing to our tree?
I think it looks pretty up
It looks pretty up in here.
I'll get you another one. I'll get you another one. But let me have it for the tree first.
For the tree first. Oh, man. Number 2 is Santa's magic. Obviously, we all know that Santa has magical powers, but researchers have calculated just how magical Father Christmas really is. The researchers found that in order to deliver all of his presents on Christmas Eve, Santa would need to travel 650 miles per second and visit 822 homes a second. No wonder he needs to eat so many mince pies. Yeah.
Now, whenever I hear Santa and magic, I always think the Black Adam comic special where he goes to the wizard.
Yeah, the wizard in the North Pole, or the wherever
it is.
Yeah.
Wait, what
So in one of the comics with Black Adam, he goes and fights a wizard who is Santa Claus, but is like Saint
like-
Claus or something.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
the DC's version of like what,
but it's
real
like
Santa
okay.
is. Yeah.
But he has like a full out magic battle and like fights him to a standstill.
And then he's like, "You will bring presents to conduct this year."
Number 3, Christmas tree soup. Did you think that eating satsumas was the most festive way to get your hit of vitamin C? What? Think again. It turns out that you can actually eat parts of your Christmas tree, and that the needles from a Christmas tree are a great source of vitamin C. If you want to tuck into your tree after Christmas, then dry out the needles before grinding.
Keep in mind, this only works with natural trees.
Yeah, it's not real.
Aw, he was gonna go home and grind up some of the fake needles.
You can then
from my
use the
tree.
dried
Seems pretty
needles
dry.
as a garnish on soups.
Interesting.
Kind of plasticky. It doesn't taste that good.
Yeah, they're all just floating there.
Yeah.
Number 4, robins are a Robin Christmas cards might annoy your postman. Robins are a Christmas card favorite, and you'll likely receive several glittery Christmas cards with a robin emblazoned cheerily on the front. Yet robins can be seen in the UK, where the Christmas card tradition began, throughout the year. So why are they so popular at Christmas? Well, back in the 19th century, postmen wore red tunics and were nicknamed Robin Postmen. Therefore, putting a robin on a Christmas card was in fact a joke. Okay.
These aren't very good. These aren't very
No, they're
interesting
not.
Christmas facts.
I
They're
feel like
not.
we
They're
should
kinda
start making our
boring.
own. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh wait. Oh no. that
I'll
one's
think.
sad.
I'll try and think of one.
Okay.
Biggest ever Secret Santa, Home Alone. Okay, these are like Christmas related facts.
Yeah.
Christmas in Space, the sequel to Carl Urban's.
Well, that's when he goes into space.
That's when he
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
into
yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Santa Claus versus the Moon Men.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
I would watch
Fun
it.
I like that.
fact.
But he travels back in time, and so like
Oh, yeah,
the
of course.
NASA missions.
Yeah.
When
they
Santa
follow.
was first starting out, he had a
Okay.
very small place where he built his toys and stuff like that. And the reason why he had to hire elves to work there was because it was such a small space that normal sized people would take up half the room for the toys where they would go. And that's why he hired the elves.
he maximizes.
He
the
maximized
workload.
the amount of space that he has.
Okay.
And that was the origin of having the
Yeah.
elves.
Okay, so he has like a corner on the market of elf workers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's why you don't see anyone anywhere else, because they're like, well, we've got a job in the North Pole.
That's true.
We've got a job in the
I mean,
North
let's be
Pole.
honest.
We've got dental.
Exactly.
Got medical.
Yeah, everything's
Candy for
local.
days.
Yeah.
Everything's local.
Yeah, you can walk anywhere you need to go.
Yeah.
And if
the
not, we
occasional
got this
polar
guy
eats
that
you,
can
but-
go 622 miles per second.
That's true.
He's great for pizza runs.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up. This other one is actually like just facts, straight interesting facts.
Okay.
Like date of the first Christmas tree is December 25th, 336 in Rome. The year the first Christmas card was sent, 1611.
How do they know that?
Yeah,
how
how
do
do
they
you-
check that fact?
I feel like that's
I don't
all right.
I'm sure it's an approximation.
Yeah.
For like around.
All
when
right,
you
so they
think
had
it
the
happened.
first
like-
Christmas tree.
But like, who would keep track of that?
Card?
Because let's say
Yeah.
it is the very
Yeah.
first Christmas card.
What is
Right.
this?
Exactly.
It's a
that
card sent during Christmas.
Like they would have just been like, why
Yeah.
is someone sending such a weird thing? Man,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would have like it wouldn't have at that time been considered a historic event.
Yeah.
It's
No.
just a card.
Yeah. It would just be going,
Oi,
hell?
Gladys, come over here. Something monumentous has happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like the first Christmas tree was probably just like some Roman guy was like, what
Yeah.
the hell is he doing? I don't know. He's pulling a tree into his house. Why would he have a tree in his house?
Yeah, there's like spiders
It
and
doesn't
gross
make any
stuff.
sense.
Yeah.
What's that big cat?
What's that big cat? Oh no, it's
is
going
he
after the
looking
man in
at
the tree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so none of these are like at the
Yeah.
time were probably considered historic
Right.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was probably like the first time they were like, Gladius, why do you have a tree in your home? And he's like, oh, it's quite nice. I think everyone will be doing it soon. And then the next year, everyone was like, I don't know, he did it last year. Let's do it too.
Let's do it too.
Also,
and then it just spreads. Yeah.
Let's be honest, you can't really say it's just on the 25th because when have you known someone to only put their Christmas tree up on Christmas Day?
That is true. I did mine the day after Thanksgiving.
A lot of people did because
Most people still didn't
it
take
was
theirs
very
down
close
from last
to-
year.
Yeah.
I don't need a tree in my house the whole year, though.
The year the mistletoe was first associated with Christmas was, I guess, the 18th century. So the century that it was first associated, the first time Christmas was
They
a
have an
bank
exact
holiday.
date for the first Christmas.
Right, but they don't know when somebody first hung up a thing of mistletoe. All right.
Nope. First U.S. state to recognize Christmas, Alabama in 1836. Wow.
Okay, that's interesting.
There was like no Christmas spirit before the 1830s in the United States. Year of the first commercial Christmas card, 1843. That I can see.
That I
because-
can see
because
is that
record-
actual. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an actual record. Like, well, people do this anyway. Let's
Like,
capitalize
why are we
on
selling
it.
something?
Right.
Why are we selling something people can just make at home? I mean, everybody's doing this on their own anyway. So
Right.
just wait. Just wait. It's going to be a huge industry.
It's going to be huge.
Gonna be huge. Yeah. Year Christmas became a U.S. federal holiday, 1870, and the year the candy cane was first associated with Christmas was 1874. Wow, the 1800s were busy
Big
with
for Christmas.
What was it
Seriously.
associated with before?
Candy canes? I think they were invented in
Sharp candy. Candy that you could also
Candy
use
shivs.
to stab people with. Yeah.
Just
Like, what? Why is your
Oh,
candy
man.
shiv so dull? I don't know. It's kind of
your
like a
candy
cane.
shiv.
Your candy shiv.
Here we've got our Hershey's Kisses, our candy canes, our candy corns, and candy shivs.
No, I just have this image of like it's like a Charles Dickens kind of thing, and he's like, "Oi, the copper took our shivs. What are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna get him.
We're gonna get
Give me a minute.
let it dry. Yeah.
Dry become brittle.
Yeah. Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Those things get sharp.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying.
Percentage of Americans that celebrate Christmas, 92%.
That's a lot of Americans.
Average
Yep.
amount of Americans spent on holiday gifts, $663.96.
well
you
below
know,
that
I am
this year.
curious.
Yeah,
What percentage of Americans that celebrate Christmas are not religious?
that's actually one of the statistics.
Is it one of them?
Percentage of
I'm
Americans
surprised it's
that-
not literally right
Yeah,
after.
Well, it's sort of related. Percentage of Americans that see Christmas as a religious holiday is 51%. So you got 49% of the American population that sees.
Oh, yeah,
that
'cause I
doesn't
don't-
associate. Well, most people don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
about half the population doesn't.
Yeah.
Or they celebrate other holidays. Yeah. Let's see here. Percentage of Americans that send Christmas cards, 65%. I'm sure that's plummeting.
I
We,
don't know,
we
I'm saying-
sent them this year,
You did?
and when
Oh,
I say
wow.
we,
Edith.
I mean my wife.
Okay, so number of Christmas cards. This is why if you want to start a lucrative business, you go into holiday card business. Number of Christmas cards purchased annually, 1.6 billion.
Jesus.
The amount it would cost if you purchased everything in the 12 days of Christmas, this is a different figure. 34,500,000. Oh, no, it's
34,000.
558.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
The other one, they were having
Yeah,
very
yeah,
expensive
yeah.
lords.
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
in.
yeah. Why would you have to pay $100K to a Lord to leap?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can just like put something on the ground
Make 'em
and they'll be
leap.
like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put a poor person down there and they'll be like, oh no. And they'll start leaping.
Number of
That's the
real-
origin
number of
for
real-
the leaping
Also,
lords.
Yeah.
it doesn't specify that they leaped in unison,
No.
just that they were a leaping.
That's
They
true.
were a-leaping.
They were a leaping.
Yeah. It was chaos.
Just lords a leaping everywhere.
Back then, leaping was
Yeah.
used for a different reason.
I'm pretty
Doing
sure that it
drugs.
was almost like an insult because if lords are leaping, that's not something a lord does.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't leap. They don't run. They don't show their ankles.
They skip.
They skip. They frolic.
They frolic.
Number of real Christmas trees sold in the U.S. annually. This number actually surprised me. 25 to 30 million
That's it.
real Christmas trees.
Okay.
Real Christmas
I haven't
trees.
had a
Shit.
real Christmas tree in years.
Actually, that seems high to me.
Yeah.
Seems very low.
Number of
actually.
Christmas tree farms in the U.S., 15,000. Number of Christmas trees growing in the U.S., 350 million. Percentages of Americans that put up a Christmas tree, 79%. Largest exporter of Christmas trees in the world, Canada.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Well, because if you think about it, like how many did it say? 25 to 30 million? How many? What's the population of Colorado? I think
No
it's
idea.
way above 20 to 30 million for a
No.
single state.
I don't know.
How many people? I'm horrible at population counting, but I feel like if we were to compare the population versus that number, I feel like it would be a lot smaller of a percentage.
5.6 million.
And there's 25
That's
to
really
30
low.
million. So 5 million, and we're
Yep.
in a medium-ish size state. Like, if you think about it, that's a small portion of the
Right, right, right.
population.
Here we go, Andy. This might answer your question. The Christmas tradition of ghost stories.
Huh?
This does answer my question,
Yeah.
Gary.
You got
Hopefully.
some Wagyu booty.
Oh, I got some ads popping up. The spooky season of Halloween has more connection to Christmas than many people realize. It comes in the form of the Christmas ghost story. In the end, both holidays at their core are a celebration of life over death, of explorations into themes of light and dark. Even the nativity story, innocently told through the tale of the birth of a baby, has elements of the supernatural. Gabriel's visit to Mary and later to Joseph is one that many imagine as filled first with fear and then with wonder. Gabriel, though described as an angel, is a visitor from another sphere, a ghost by any other definition. But if you escape the scary elements of apparitions and specters and contemplate more the nature of life and death, you come to realize why these themes keep showing up in the celebration of Christmas, especially. The one common denominator among humans is death. None of us. Okay, it seems like this is like an exposition on.
Yeah, it seems more like this is why I believe.
This
Why I believe,
this seems more like the origin of how people associate ghost stories, not
Yeah, this is not
ghost
the actual
stories
history.
with holidays.
So far, I'm not seeing anything that explains why ghost stories are.
I picture it very
prevalent.
similar to essentially like the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Like how
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the thin veil, and like in the winter things do get. Because I mean, if you think about it, ghost stories also do like pick up around the winter time, because back in the day, that was when you were very secluded from other people.
True, yeah.
And like creatures would be out in the night, and you would get stories of a ghost story of, oh yeah, so and so got captured by a ghost when it was really the Yule Cat. But,
Sure, yeah.
I
Like
don't know if
at
I'd rather
the
get captured
dark
by the
time
Yule
of the
Cat
year.
or any other
Or
scary
Krampus. You can
Krampus.
who will throw you in his sack of horrors.
I'd like to see Krampus walk up and say, "Hello, you've been very bad this year. Now, my associate here, the Yule Cat, can take care of you, or I can. It's your choice."
And she will be judging you based off of your clothing.
So, which is very cruel. It's very mean. Trust me, I know.
Or I can beat you with this bat. Your choice.
Or it could be your choice. Yes. So this actually answers your question. So this next segment of Conspiracy Cast, the Christmas or holiday edition,
Sure.
is inspired by Andy's question from earlier. There will be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There will be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. So sang Andy Williams back in 1963 in his festive favorite, "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." And the lyric quoted above has caused much scratching of heads over the years. I need to zoom in. That is very small font. As not everyone is aware of the old tradition of telling spooky tales upon a Christmas night. Indeed, some have wondered whether the lines above are merely referring solely in haphazard fashion to Dickens' A Christmas Carol. But of course, there's more specters abroad at Yuletide other than just Mr. Marley and his crew. I'd like to see the ghost of Marley and his crew.
Yeah, this is my crew.
It's my
the
crew.
Marley crew.
Yeah.
Marley crew.
I'm going to go first. You're going to go next. And then you.
Not that creepy guy in the back.
Yeah, another creepy thing back. To begin with, some of the finest ghost stories ever written were produced by M.R. James, who notes in the preface to his first collection of tales, Ghost Stories of an Antiquary. Thank you. I wrote these stories at long intervals, and most of them were read to patient friends, usually at the seasons of Christmas.
Interesting.
And indeed, from surviving diaries, letters, and other items of supporting evidence, we learned that famous tales of his, such as Number 13, A Whistle, and I'll Come to You, and A School Story, were first read aloud to his friends over the festive season. Furthermore, a little earlier, at the turn of the century, Henry James began his classic novella of spectral terrors, The Turn of the Screw, in the following fashion, which shows the old tradition in action. The story had held us round the fire sufficiently breathless, but except the obvious remark that it was gruesome, as on Christmas Eve, in an old house, a strange tale should essentially be. I remember no comment uttered till somebody happened to say that it was the only case he had met in which such a visitation had fallen on a child. Sounds creepy. Certainly the Christmas spirits enjoyed a veritable heyday in Victorian times. The Victorians loved the macabre and ghost stories and anything dark. Even their children's tales were terrifying. Supernatural fiction as a whole was immensely popular with the Victorians. Now we tend to think of the ladies and gentlemen of that period as being stolid, stuffy types. However, this is something of a fallacy. For as Matthew Sweet makes clear in his excellent book Inviting the Victorians, actually the contrary was closer to the truth. Rather than staid and prim prudes, our bewhiskered ancestors were thrill seekers. So basically, it seems like the tradition just goes back and back and back.
It sounds like it's almost a tradition of simply people that were writers back during a time that you couldn't share your story, and this just happened to be when your family came around.
Yeah, right.
And horror stories do tend to stick out in your mind more than the happy ones, because those you're like, oh, that was nice.
And ghost stories were very popular in Victorian times. So
that sounds
okay.
Interesting.
So does that answer your question?
It does, Gary. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, any other thoughts on Creepy Christmas? Do you guys have any creepy Christmas stories?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Not that it specifically happened to me or anything like that, generally speaking.
That popped to mind.
Yeah.
No. However, I do like the legend of Spider Bro. I don't know what it actually is, but I've turned it into the legend of Spider Bro.
I don't know how you got the bro part. That's what's throwing me off.
He's wearing a tank top?
Yeah, like what?
Well, it was a meme for a while.
Oh, okay.
It was like the Spider Bro meme where it
Gotcha.
was like the spider that's like, hey, I got rid of those flies for you. Wait, what are you doing with that newspaper?
I see. Okay.
It's your Spider Bro.
I got you.
Well, I think our takeaway here is that a movie needs to be made starring Carl Urban as Santa Claus or Saint Nick. And he's been missing.
Yep.
Krampus is running amok.
Sure.
Michael Cera.
Yep.
Yule Cat is
rides
going crazy.
an armored reindeer.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but with
Yes.
Santa Claus.
Yes.
I like it.
Someone should
I
deep fake that.
They should.
They should just make
Lord of the
Santa
Claus.
Claus descend upon Helm's Deep.
The Nazgul are like the Christmas spirits.
Yes. Oh, man.
They
My
go into
army
the
of
mines.
ghosts
It's
of
just a
Christmas
bunch
past.
of reject Krampuses. Krampi.
Krampi?
Krampi?
Krampi. I think it would be Krampi.
But,
Okay.
all right.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you have any other interesting Christmas facts or scary ghost stories from Christmas.
Long ago.
Long ago. Let us know in the comment section below. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Happy
Kwanzaa.
holidays, guys.
Merry Glorp, everybody.
Merry Glorp.
Glorping Christmases,
Glorping
everybody.
Yes.
Glorp and Glorpmas.
Yep. And we love the Christmas Illuminati.
They're better than normal Illuminati.
Yes.
They bring presents.
They are
And they
also
wear
festive.
hats.
Yeah, they bring the Christmas Illuminati bring just checks. Like, here's a check.
So I celebrate the Christmas Illuminati now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.